hear that our members have been part of this conference to speak. Our region is super proud of the partnership that we have with Farming Smarter to have our members speak, and we truly appreciate the support by the way that the auction money has helped over the past 3 years. This money has gone to our various regional events, including our annual judging competition, plus various other livestock programs. This year, we were also able to award 2 Farming Smarter scholarships to members who will be pursuing a post-secondary education. So thank you so much for the support of our 4-H program in Southern Alberta by participating in the silent auction again this year. This region has almost 900 members, approximately 350 volunteers, in 60 different clubs with projects including market beef, horse, sheep, swine, poultry, pheasants, and that's just to name a few. There are over 30 different projects available for members to choose from. The 4-H speakers that you will hear today are a few of the top placing speakers from our 2014 Southern 4-H Regional Communications Competition. To compete at this regional level, each of these speakers were judged at the top of their 4-H club, then their district communications competition, and finally their regional communications competition. Communications is a key element of the 4-H program, and it is one that I have enjoyed the most. Members between the ages of 9 and 21 create their own speech without props, or a presentation with props, either a demonstration or presentation, of a topic using a PowerPoint or a flip chart. This afternoon, you will be listening to members in both categories and of various ages. So my name is Anka Hermes. I have been a member for 8 years now. Recently, I have stopped being a member and become a leader instead, as I am now attending college. I've shown horse, market beef, sheep, judging, kind of all over the place. Last week I competed in agribition. So that's kind of me. I'll be introducing Bryanna Peltzer. She'll be kind of the MC for this 4-H portion. She's 13 years old. She's in her 5th year of 4-H. She's from the John Muir 4-H Beef Club and Cow Country Judging Club. She's from the Newell District. She's done market steer, open heifer, 2- and 3-year-old cow-calf pairs, horse, and judging. She is a farm girl that just loves to play basketball and volleyball and loves riding her horse Hannah bareback whenever she can. So here's Bryanna Peltzer.
So to start off, I would also like to thank Farming Smarter and call Lindsay Peltzer for her speech. Lindsay Peltzer is an 11-year-old girl and she has been in 4-H for 3 years. She's in the John Muir 4-H Beef Club as well as the Cow Country Judging Club. She is from the Newell District and also has projects of market steer, open heifer, 2- and 3-year-old cow-calf pairs, horse, and judging. She also is a farm girl that enjoys playing volleyball and basketball and also loves Highland dance. Lindsay Peltzer, the Pony Express. The Pony Express, Lindsay Peltzer.
Whoa, Frosty. You've got mail. Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson and ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank Farming Smarter for allowing me to speak here today. I would like to give you a little history lesson on the Pony Express. The Pony Express was a mail service that used horses and riders to deliver mail, newspapers, and small packages. It used a series of relay stations from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California, a distance of 3,100 kilometers. It passed through the states of Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, and ended in the new state of California. Pony Express riders rode a shorter, faster route than the stagecoaches. They could deliver the mail across the USA in 10 days. The Pony Express only ran for 18 months, from April 1860 to October 1861. There were 184 stations used in the Pony Express. They were about 20 kilometers apart. This is roughly the distance a horse could travel at a gallop before getting tired. The rider changed horses at each swing station. Home stations, pictured here, provided a room and board for the riders between the runs. Each rider rode 100 100 riders that were paid $25 per week. Most men only made $5 per week. One of the most famous Pony Express riders was William Cody. Some of you might know him as Buffalo Bill from the Wild West shows. Buffalo Bill is known for making the longest non-stop ride in the Pony Express. His relief rider had been killed, so he had to continue the ride. He rode 21 horses in a total of 518 kilometers in 21 hours and 40 minutes. That's like riding from Brooks to Medicine Hat 5 times. All I can say is, oh my aching butt. The riders had to face a lot of danger. They rode day and night in all sorts of weather, through their native land, where there was often conflict. Pony Express lost riders and many horses in the 18 months. Now, on to my favorite part, the ponies. There were about 400 horses used in the Pony Express. The horses were selected for their speed and endurance. The average horse was 14.2 pounds and weighed 900 pounds. This is the actual size of a pony. That's why they called it the Pony Express. On the eastern side, the Missouri area, the horses were mostly Morgans and Thoroughbreds. Morgans are very strong and sturdy. Thoroughbreds are very fast. These horses were picked from the U.S. Cavalry. 200 pintos were used in the middle part, the Great Salt Lake Valley area. These horses were bought from the Native Americans. 100 Mustangs were used on the western end, the California area. This was the more rugged end of the route that suited the Mustangs. The tack used on the horse is similar to what we use today. It requires a bridle and a lightweight saddle. A mochila, or a leather mail bag, rode on top of the saddle like this. The horn and the cantle of the mochila were cut out so they lay flat on the saddle. The rider then rode on top of the mochila, keeping it in place, like this. On the corners of the mochila were 4 cantinas, or box-shaped bags. This is where the mail was carried. The mochila could carry 30 pounds of mail. When the Pony Express first started, they charged $5 to send a half-ounce letter like this one. By the end of the Pony Express, the price dropped to $1 per letter. That compares to $26 to send a letter today. That's very expensive. Today it costs $1 to mail that same letter by Canada Post. Although, I still think it takes 10 days. The Pony Express had only lasted 18 months because the newer, faster telegraph was connected in 1861. That put the Pony Express out of business. Today we use the internet or a phone to send someone an instant message. Only times have changed. Speaking of changing, I have to get on a new horse and get this mail delivered. I have a long ride ahead of me. See y'all later. Let's go, Woody. Yeah! Dun, dun, dun.
Our next speaker is Madison Groves. She is 15 and this is her 3rd year in 4-H. She is from the Coaldale 4-H Equestrian Club in the Lethbridge district. She loves to train horses, and her speech is called My Superhero.
Madison Groves. My superhero. My superhero, Madison Groves.
What makes a superhero? What qualifications require to become a superhero? What does your superhero look like? Does he wear a cape? Perhaps he leaves the Shire for the first time to make a delivery and changes destiny forever. Or maybe your superhero is a very ordinary person who does very extraordinary things. Madam Chairperson, friends, family, guests, and fellow 4-H members, I think we can all agree that a superhero protects the innocent, answers the call to duty, and stands up for justice. Whether or not we find the superheroes in the comics, on the big screen, or in our very own lives, there are certain qualities that set them apart from the rest. Superheroes make us feel safe, they protect us, and most importantly, they give us hope. In the new Superman movie, Man of Steel, we learn that the S on his chest does not stand for Superman, as you might thought, but instead it is the symbol of hope for his home planet Krypton. So then, what is hope? My superhero always made the best of every situation. Nothing was ever too difficult. He did not stand out in a crowd. Most people would not even notice him. He did not wear a cape, but he did wear suspenders. Sometimes we do not notice a superhero in our midst until a crisis occurs, a life-changing event, or an illness. This is what it took for me to recognize my grandpa was a superhero. In 2004, my grandma was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. According to the Canadian Alzheimer's Society, an estimated 500,000 Canadians have this condition. 36% of Canadians know someone with this disease. For 17% of us, it is an immediate family member, and it is the second most feared disease among Canadians as they age. The impact of Alzheimer's disease affects the whole family. Family caregivers are the invisible superheroes in this country. As Grandma's Alzheimer's began to change, who she was and who my family was to her, I began to see the superhero emerge in my grandpa. He kept things hidden for many years before he admitted there was a problem bigger than he could handle. But in the meantime, he learned how to cook, clean the house, do the laundry, apply makeup, and even color Grandma's hair every 6 weeks. For many years, he kept all of us fooled. 1 Corinthians 13:7 says, "Love always protects, it always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres." This is the kind of unconditional love my grandpa had. As I watched how Grandpa cared for his wife of almost 60 years, I began to truly discover what love is. He never once complained, but willingly laid down his own life in order to care for Grandma. Even after she moved to a long-term care facility, he visited her every day. A dedicated and loving husband, he stayed by her side through the best and worst days of her life, and was holding her hand as she took her final breath. Grandpa found the strength and hope to continue on without Grandma, looking for the good and positive in life. When an illness affects your family, you truly need someone to step up and be a superhero. Remind you there is hope and show you what it means to be faithful. My grandpa is my superhero. He took his marriage vows very seriously. In sickness and in health, he cherished my grandma. Superheroes do not have to be in movies. They are those ordinary people who go unnoticed. They are there in crisis. They remind us we're loved. And most importantly, they give us hope for the future. My grandpa hung up his superhero suspenders for the last time on September 20th, 2013. His superhero duties were fulfilled. A good, faithful, and loving husband, father, and grandfather. I will cherish his memory and the legacy he left for me, a legacy of hope and love, of superhero magnitude.
Thank you, Madison. Our next speaker and final speaker is Taya Nickel. Taya is 11 years old. She is from the club Wild and Woolly in the Lethbridge district. She has both lamb and sheep projects and has been in 4-H for 3 years. She loves to read Harry Potter and ride horses and ponies. Taya Nickel, Bear Aware. Bear Aware, Taya Nickel.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, Farming Smarter, delegates, and fellow rights members. Have you ever been camping, hiking, or even just spending time in the bush and felt like you were being watched? Or have you ever had the experience of running unexpectedly into a big, unfriendly, threatening bear? Well, I have, and gladly I've lived to tell about it. Even though I do not want to go face to face with the bear, I still find it interesting to learn about it from a distance. There are many different kinds and species of bears. Grizzly bears, brown bears, and Kodiak bears are all the same species. The name brown bear is commonly used for bears in Alaska, whereas grizzly bears are more commonly used for bears in Canada and the southern United States. The brown bear is a large bear that lives across North America. So which is the biggest of them all? The Kodiak bear, native to Alaska and a subspecies to the brown bear, rivals the polar bear as the largest member of the bear family and one of the largest bears in the world. The male grows larger than the female, with the average adult Kodiak male standing 5 feet at the shoulder when on all fours, and measuring over 10 feet tall and standing on 2 legs. Can you imagine? 10 feet tall? That's taller than most of the ceilings in my house. Kodiaks typically range in weight from 500 to 700 pounds, and males from 800 to 1,400 pounds, with the heaviest recorded weight being over 2,500 pounds. Males commonly live 25 years, with the oldest female living to be 37 years old. Kodiak bears are brown in color, with the coloring on their face being much lighter than the rest of their bodies. They have enormous heads and powerful bodies. The hump on their back is a massive muscle that helps them dig and be a powerful striking force with their paw. I wouldn't want to be smacked around by those paws. They have powerful teeth and jaws that can tear through their prey very quickly. Imagine that snarling at you. An interesting fact is that bears are one of the few animals that can have tooth decay. Having cavities may affect the bear's ability to eat and may even lead them to starvation. The claws on a Kodiak bear are very long, sharp, and may be as long as 4 inches. So what could be on a Kodiak bear's menu? Your diet consists mostly of fish, especially salmon. They will also eat berries and varieties of fruit, nuts, and other types of vegetation. Sometimes they will kill other smaller animals and insects, such as ants and moths. They depend on their keen sense of smell more than their sight and hearing to check out their surroundings. The Kodiak bear is one that is very active in the daytime, but will occasionally move around at night. These massive animals weigh 50 pounds a day. That's like eating me, plus another leg. Researchers have found that bears are very smart, but are they dangerous? If threatened, a charging Kodiak bear can run up to 48 kilometers an hour. Bear attacks are somewhat rare, but happen enough to be a concern. They can be deadly, especially to hikers, hunters, and fishermen. Due to the bear's enormous strength, even a bite or a swipe of the paw can be deadly, with some human victims having their heads completely crushed by a bear. One of the best ways to protect yourself in bear country is to make a lot of noise. This
problem with that, because I'm always talking. Even though the Kodiak Bear can be big, fierce, and deadly, I find it to be an amazing